All right, shalom, shalom. It's another GMS lesson come back at you. Before I do get into this lesson, I'm going to start by giving our honor, glory, and praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Recha HaKodash. Next up, the bonus of my apostles, elders, great millstone, taught me the 100% truth of the Bible and who rule well. Peace, love, salutations to all the brothers across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth in all diligence and sincerity. All right. I'm just jumping right back into a little bit of the final lesson. It's a little part 2 to Israel being scattered, right? And I'm just jump right back into it. This is Tobit 13:2. For he do a scourge and have mercy. He leadeth down to hell, right? And bringeth up again, right? So the Most High, right? He doeth scourge and have mercy. He punishes, right? He punishes us as a people, right? And we read that Deuteronomy 28, right? Deuteronomy 28 verses 15 all the way down to 68, all the curses that will befell our people, right? For what? For not keeping his ways, right? But what? And it said, and have mercy. He leadeth down to hell and bring it up again. So, us being brought down to a lower state, because hell is just either the grave, right? Or being in a lower state. And that's what the Lord did to our people. He punished our people. He brought us very low. We're still brought low to this day, right? The curse is still upon us, right? But what? The Lord is also showing mercy. The Lord is also bringing us back up. The Lord is also putting into motion the elevation, right? Of the humble, of the poor, of the low, of the meek, right? The elect, right? The Lord is making moves to what? To usher in the kingdom of heaven, right? Which puts us back on top as the true top nation on the face of the earth, the true chosen people of the Lord, which we still are the true chosen people of the Lord. But what? We're going to be back in our rightful place, our rightful mindset, right? And more, and then some, right? It reads, and neither is there any that can deliver, that can avoid his hands. Like it mixing. Two precepts up, but and neither is there any that can deliver neither is there any that can avoid his hand. So we couldn't avoid his hand. We couldn't escape the judgment of the Lord when we went off, right? So neither these heathens, right? These heathens won't be able to get away for what they've done, touching the apple of the Lord's eye, right? It reads on, Tobit 13:3. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel. Why? For he have scattered us among them. Right? That's simple and plain, man. That's why we go out and confess this word unto everybody. Right? Oh, GMS got white boys in their camp. GMS got that look like a dang on Asian, man. He look like an Arab, man. He look like a dot-head East Indian, right? They got downright heathens in their camp, because you guys don't have no understanding, man. Right? It's either one of two things. Either y'all just can't get it, y'all slow, right? Or so we don't even have to get into all that, man. Right? Either the Lord ain't dealing with you, he just haven't bestowed the true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to you. Right? Or you're bought and sold, man. Right? Took the bribe, right? To further scatter our people, man. Because it's really not a hard concept to understand. We were scattered amongst all people upon the face of the earth, man. We just read it. Right? And we just read it again. For he have scattered us among them. This is Proverbs 1:20. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. This word, right, is being cried out in the middle of the street by what? By the men of the Lord, the prophets, starting off with the apostles and elders of great millstone and all the sincere brothers on down, right? Verse 21, she crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates, in the city she uttereth her words, right? Once again, through the men. In the chief place of concourse. Again, like we were saying in the last video, the part 1 of this one, right? That's why we go out to the highways and byways. That's why we go out to the chief place of concourse. That's why you see brothers mainly in their downtown areas. They're not put away behind some truck stop. They're not put away in the corner of the city where nobody. And brothers, do what they can, do what they do for where they're at, right? We're not getting into any of that. But for the most part, here at GMS, right? Brothers are in the chief place of concourse. Brothers are in their downtown areas. I can speak for the brothers here and other brothers as well, but just speaking on the brothers here in Raleigh, North Carolina, the street that we're on, that we go out, is literally what would be considered the openings of the gates, the openings of the city, right? The street that we're on literally brings you in directly from another city and takes you out. You can take that street all the way up until you get to damn near Virginia, man. Right? A whole nother state, let alone out of the city, right? So brothers are there, and it's the downtown area. There's a lot of buying, there's a lot of eating, there's a lot of drinking, there's a lot of people coming and going, all walks of life. Why? Because when we read up to Tobit again, right, it says, for he had confessed him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he have scattered us among them. So not only are we calling out to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because Jake, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, they're the biggest consumers. They always going to be buying, right? They always going to be coming in and out of the stores. They always going to be out eating and drinking, right? So we're calling out to what looks to be the natural Jakes, right? But we're also calling out to what might look like a heathen, a so-called white man, a so-called Arab, a so-called East Indian, a so-called African, a so-called Asian man. It don't matter what they look like, because the Lord has scattered us among them. And if they get it, if the Spirit is dealing with them, if they understand what we're saying, what we're bringing out, and they accept it, who are we to turn them away? Even if they come out to be not a Israelite, which we know, but they can fake the funk, right? They can fake the funk if they maybe an agent or just it is what it is. But it's not up to us to tell them that they can't get it, because we can't even say that we get it, that we're Israelites. Everything is based off faith, right? We're a faith-based Israelites. We don't have no proof. We don't have the records. We don't have all the things that prove that we're Israelites. We're based on what we believe off faith. Right? It reads on, Proverbs 1:20, wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying. Right? And when you read on into that, it goes into, how long would you simple ones love simplicity, right? And you Jakes, going into the ways of our people and following after the ways of the heathen. But also, man, you simple guys, man, how long y'all gonna deal in this in the carnality of what Jake looked like, man? Right? How long are you gonna deal in, he don't look black, or he don't look like a Mexican, or he don't look like a so-called Haitian man? GMS downright let heathens until they can't. How long y'all gonna deal in the simplicity of what Jake looked like, when we know that Israel is scattered abroad, man? Right? This is James 1:1. James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. Right, so this greeting, the opening of this epistle, was directed towards who? The children of Israel, the 12 tribes who were scattered abroad, right? Because we know, especially in the Lord's time, our people had went through before the Lord's time, coming into the Lord's time, and then during it, that we were Hellenized, right? The Hellenistes and those that were. I forgot the two terms, but the Hellenistic and the Hellenistes, right? Those who knew they were Israelites, but still were following after the ways of the heathen. And then you had those who were, didn't know that they were Jews or Israelites and were living after the ways of the heathens, right? Because, you had the Greeks, you had Alexander the Creep, you had Antiochus, right? You had all these, these going through this period where they made it against the law for us to keep our laws, to keep our who we were, our customs, right? So, that's just one of the other things, right, that the Lord put us through to what? To discontinue us from our heritage, right? You had also when we came over here on cargo slave ships, the same way they beat our nationality out of us when we came over here on cargo slave ships. That wasn't the first time, right? Which further caused us to be scattered and pushed us towards the ways of these heathens to us not knowing who we are, right? And just like in this epistle right here, James, he was writing to the Israelites who were scattered abroad. It's the same thing that we're doing today, man. Right? Our people, right? We got some Israelites now of the circumcision that know they're Israelites, but they still want to be in the world. They still want to follow after the ways of the heathen. Oh yeah. I know I'm an Israelite. I know I know. I've seen that before. But they keep on going up and down the street. They keep doing what they're doing because they don't really understand. They don't really care. Right? But we're still writing them to them. We're still calling them to them. The men of the Lord is still out on the highways and byways. And then you still have Jakes out here who have no idea, right? Who don't know the Israelites, right? And we're still calling out to them, man. Right? Same thing today, man. All right? This is Jeremiah 29:14. And I will be found of you, right? Saith the Lord, and I will turn away your captivity. And I will gather you from all nations and from all the places whither I have driven you, right? And this hasn't happened yet, right? This is a future prophecy, right? The Lord said that He will turn away our captivity, right? We're still yet this day found in the hands of our enemy, in the land of our captivity, here in the Americas, man. And it reads, and I will gather you from all nations, right? Because we are scattered abroad. We're still amongst all these other nations. You think they gathered up every single Israelite from the northern, western parts of Africa, right? Of course not, man. Right? And from various parts of Africa that we have fled into. Not all of us stayed in those specific spots, right? You think that the Israelites that were throughout various captivities, when we went on the move, not every single Israelite might have made it out of there, or might have left, or might have escaped, or what may have you, right? So the Lord reads on, and I will gather you from all the nations and from all the places whither I have driven you, saith the Lord, and I will bring you again into the place whence I caused you to be carried away captive. And we have yet this day been brought back to our land, right? We know that the Lord Yahweh, and that's not going to happen until the Lord returns, man, right? This is Matthew 10:5, and it reads, These 12 Yahweh sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. Right? And going into the history, right? When we were in the land of Samaria, right? When the Assyrians casted us out of the land, took us out of the land, right? We were exiled out of the land, right? The king of Assyria, what did he do? He put heathens into that land, right? And so now you had heathens in that land, right? They were practicing our customs, which they really couldn't do, but they were practicing our customs, mixing them in with their customs, right? So there was a whole lot of confusion, there's a whole lot of things going on, right? Which led to this time the Lord saying what? Don't go into the natural Gentiles in the land, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, because there were still Israelites scattered throughout those lands, man. Right? Like I said, not every single Israelite was plucked up by the head. The Heavenly Father plucked them up by the head and pluck, and just dropped them all in different lands by the head. No. These are real life events, real life things. So we got to visualize and extrapolate all possibilities of what, okay, maybe not every single Israelite left the land, right? You know? So you got Israelites that are still scattered, Israelites that through the course of time maybe went back into those lands or what may have you, right? And the Lord said what? But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, not the natural heathens, not the natural Gentiles, but the Israelites who are scattered amongst those lands, the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? And will say what unto them? And as ye go, preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So the kingdom of heaven, right, didn't pertain unto the natural Gentiles, unto the natural heathens, pertaining to, at this time, right, the Israelites who knew they were Israelites, and then the Israelites who were scattered abroad, man. And likewise today. But what? Even though you may know you're an Israelite, even though you may look like you're an Israelite, that don't necessarily, one, mean you're going to make it and be saved and delivered. And that ultimately don't mean that you are an Israelite just because you look like one. Right? And just because you don't look like a natural Israelite don't mean you not one. This thing is way deeper than just skin color and what a person may look like, man. Right? The scriptures say that what is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. So just because you may look like an Israelite or just, it doesn't mean you all together got it all sealed, signed and delivered away, man, for salvation, man. Or going as a member of the elect, man. Right? The elect are going to look like all different shades, colors, shapes, sizes, or what may have you, man. Right? Because what? We were scattered abroad, man. Of course, Israel is going to come looking like Israel, right? So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. But also keep in mind that Israel is going to also look like these other nations, man. So Lord willing, that was edifying. Lord willing, that was straight to the point. I'm going to go ahead and close out, giving peace and love to the elect. Shalom.